here we go. Top left-hand corner, we have Dignitas Sjow spawning in as the red Terran. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran, Evil Geniuses, DeMusliM. Now, Sjow was recently, Sjow was recently teamless, and then he resigned really quickly with Dignitas again. Glad to see him in the Dignitas family yet again. With Select, I do believe.
Yes.
And
Mers, another Terran player
Love
from Dignitas.
The guy is such a handsome baller.
Dude, Mers is really good. We're talking about Cloud is good looking. Mers is really good looking as well. But you know, we're talking about dashing young fellas. DeMusliM, the blue Terran, in the bottom right from Evil Geniuses, Benjamin Baker. I could sing lullabies and sonnets about this guy. But I didn't even pick him to win the series, so it just goes to show you that how charming a fella he
You're
is.
a terrible person. I love both these guys. DeMusliM has that classy accent to him, so you can't not root for him. That's why. It was really even in my head, but I was like, gotta go with the classy English accent. Whoa!
Ooh, excuse me. I don't even know
Away
what happened
from the
there.
mic. Away from the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I was I was so taken aback by your comments there, Gretorp. I totally apologize to everyone listening there. But, you know, this is TVT. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into the game. Sjow is going for a gas while DeMusliM is not. Now, Sjow is one of these Terran versus Terran players. I've been watching him a lot recently because, again, I picked him, so I'm like, I gotta definitely know a lot about his recent play. And he actually beat Hart, the guy who made a huge run through MLG Winter Championship. And he's been showing all kinds of play. In fact, he went all three different kinds of style here, Gretorp. He went bio play, opened up a lot of Marines and went for fast stim timing. He also went for mech, and he also went for just standard Marine tank. So he's capable of pulling all the stops. And at the same time, so is DeMusliM. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two players kind of react to each other's builds.
At this point, I think Sjow should just kind of match up, see what he's up against. DeMusliM is a player that can operate at a much, much higher rate just because of his APM. I should pull up the APM. You can see the difference. 110 average. This is EAPM, I should say. And then Sjow is only at 48. With that, you're able to outmaneuver your opponent. You're able to do a lot more actions. Theoretically, you're able to do a lot more actions. It doesn't always work like that, but using that knowledge, I think Sjow should do a more passive style. Now, what's a more passive style? Probably some sort of factory build. Go for the mass factories. Go for, you know, Hellions, siege tanks, Thors, Vikings, that kind of stuff, because you have one army and that's all you're dealing with. Don't try to spread yourself thin, because I think going for the Marine Marauder, that'll be tough against DeMusliM, who can operate at a faster rate with those smaller amounts of units.
Yep, so just like we said, we'll keep an eye out for that in the middle of the game. In the meantime, Sjow showing a Reaper. Now, of course, DeMusliM did manage to get good information. Saw basically the tech lab on the barracks. Now, he didn't see the command center. He just managed to miss that SCV, but with that Reaper, he should be able to suspect so accordingly. And as a result, looks like he is finally double gassing up after 2 quick barracks, so very standard play out of him. And so with the Reaper scout here, now, Gretorp, you're the TVT expert. How do you really react to this kind of play?
Well, as DeMusliM, I'm a little bit worried at this point because I don't have a bunker, but really you're just hoping that this Reaper does this. Bad Reaper, bad!
Yikes.
And now, I hate to say it, but DeMusliM is pretty far ahead. And that sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's just 50 minutes, 50 gas, right?
Yeah, but
no.
What happens is it's opportunity cost as well. The command center comes up a lot faster. You can see the Oracle command center is already done. That's an extra 180 minerals per minute that you get for that mule. On top of that, you just have more SEVs to work with, and you can transition a lot easier. Now, the one thing that Sjow has is the upgrade. The combat shield and the stim should be finished before his opponent ever can do it, but still, I mean, Sjow not in a great position, losing his only sight in the map.
Yep, so as a result, DeMusliM has that position. Now, he also has that combat shield way more delayed than Sjow does. This is about to actually finish, and that's actually going to come into play here as it finishes just as DeMusliM gets to the top of the ramp. So DeMusliM does have to retreat for now, but of course, that also does tell him where his gas is being spent. So pretty good information for DeMusliM, and he's able to get an early engineering bait. Now, he's actually a big proponent of getting +1 extremely quickly, especially if you go for that Marine style. And because Sjow spent that 100 extra gas in that, and he's actually going for a starport as well, now DeMusliM will have that upgrade advantage going into the mid game.
Yeah, I like where DeMusliM chose to actually utilize his advantage. It is with this +1, he will have a pretty large timing, whereas he has +1 and his opponent does not. Not only that, once he gets out the starport tech, he will be, you know, negating any advantage I think that Sjow has. So at this point, DeMusliM just has to wait for that +1, then exert his advantage. If he does it before or waits too long, then what he's doing is wasting it. Basically, it's negating and it's evening up the game. That's not a position that you want to be. So we'll see how DeMusliM actually goes about his advantage. It's going to come down to scouting and whether or not he sees that he's capable of doing that.
Yeah, this is actually the same build he used against Hart in game number 2 that I was watching earlier today. Sjow actually goes for really fast medevacs because he wants to start dropping his opponent really fast. But of course, he doesn't have that much information on DeMusliM just yet because DeMuslim's been the one perusing the map. He's the one controlling a lot of sight, and as a result, Sjow doesn't actually have too much awareness other than the fact that he saw a bunch of Marines. But he does have his first medevac queued out here, and he is transitioning to stim and getting, again, a very delayed +1. But over here, we see DeMusliM actually should be prepared. He's getting up turrets in places and just getting prepared. So overall, hopefully, he should be prepared for it because his turret's actually in the corner of his base in anticipation of a drop.
Not only that, you can see Armory and Engineering Bay going down, so he is continuing on with his upgrades. A really nice way to continue your advantage. So now instead of having his advantage here, he has the same advantage at +2 attack. It's really, really cool to do. What the opportunity cost is going to be a third base, but here we go. The drop is coming in here.
That turret placement is so sick. I mean, look at he's going to be able to do so much damage before these Marines even finish unloading. It's so close. Oh, man, the Marines actually are now trapped. And they're only going to do what they can do, which is stim in here. Except stim isn't just finished, actually, so now he's going to be able to stim. Kills off some SCVs. We'll actually see how much damage was done. 7 SCVs killed, but he lost his medevac pretty early, and that's the first medevac that popped out.
Yeah.
Pretty important opportunity cost, as you were pointing out.
That sucks, because now the medevac count is going to even out a little bit. He's going to be slightly behind. DeMuslim's going to be slightly behind. Now, Sjow, what is he going to do? Losing that medevac and the Marines in there actually does a lot more than you would think. It keeps DeMusliM back. It says, I have a medevac, you don't. Be careful for these drops. Once I lose that drop, now I don't have to worry. I can go exert my advantage and take control of the map. You can see that this third now is very vulnerable, and it forces Sjow to make a planetary fortress.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool observation. And as a result, Sjow is naturally playing a little bit more defensive right now because he knows DeMusliM is moving out here.
Uh-oh.
I mean, at this point, is Sjow going to be in position to defend it, or will DeMusliM even go for it? He does scan and get a good sense of what Show's army is like, but we're about to see a pretty big engagement. DeMusliM really confident. His +1 armor is not finished. He's going to engage here. The stim does go off, but DeMusliM, he does have more Marines, and looks like Sjow is going to be forced to pull some SCVs. And right now, DeMusliM, man, killing a lot of workers as +1 armor was about to finish. I feel like DeMusliM should have waited just a couple seconds there, as that would have been much more in his favor, but still a pretty good engagement as he managed to kill off 10 workers and take the SCV count.
It's very minor, though. You can see 51 to 51 at this point. Now that Sjow has more mineral patches to actually mine from, so it gives him the ability to have the economic advantage. Unfortunately, I don't see any mules down. 1 mule down. So that's actually hurting Sjow quite a bit. As soon as he puts those mules down, he'll be fine, but a drop in the top right-hand position will be heading for that that top right-hand base, and it looks like DeMuslim's just going to camp out this one tower.
Oh, so it looks like he's going to drop a third here, which is really good, and again, just trying to pressure Sjow and just not even allowing him to mine. I love the fact that he's just keeping it there as a way to harass Sjow indirectly, just not letting him mine there, while DeMusliM, of course, he's trying to get up his third, floating his orbital there. As a result, DeMusliM, the drop looks like it will finally get cleaned up. Some SCVs are still being targeted down there, so DeMusliM doing a very good job controlling the map, and I love just his presence on the map despite not having a huge overwhelming advantage.
Look at the supplies at this point, 113 to 113. These two players are really close together. DeMusliM, though, has that 2-1. Look at that 3-2 on the way, and just now the +2 is being researched for Sjow. So DeMusliM has a gigantic advantage with these timings. Let's see how long that timing is. 170 seconds. So he has 170 seconds to take advantage of his upgrade advantage. That is the largest window ever. Let's see what he does with it.
Yeah, so right now DeMusliM is still moving across the map here. Now he does have some good medevacs, and again, he's got control of the watchtower, so he can really capitalize on it. Love the small positioning here from Sjow to see if there's any drops coming, but he does have tanks. Now tanks could play a huge factor here depending on where DeMusliM chooses to engage it, but the tanks are not going to be sieged in time, and DeMusliM looks like he has the position for now, but no, the tanks do end up getting a couple good shots, and DeMusliM is losing a lot of supply, but may just have too many Marines, or will he? The medevacs are blocking a lot of my view. I can't actually see what's going on Gretorp, as Sjow is pushing back the medevacs. So a great job there from Sjow to push back, but it was very risky because his tanks were not in good position.
Those tanks, though, helped him out so much. That was the only thing that can get him back into that. Positional play for Sjow is the only way he'll be able to compete with those super upgraded Marines. Now you can see that the +2 armor is now started, but the +2 armor for DeMusliM is just finished. So again, another pretty big time where DeMusliM can go and start utilizing his advantage. And here we go again. A drop is actually geared up, but oh no, the siege tanks are on siege. One-shotting the siege tanks, two-shotting there, and there's just not enough Marines. Oh no, the siege tanks were the only thing keeping him alive, and down goes all three of them.
Oh, DeMusliM picking a perfect time to strike and being able to recognize his opponent's weakness. Now DeMusliM has a lot of ability. He can afford to send a medevac and still have a strong army, being able to take on the army of Sjow. And so he's getting able to elevate her up here. Now Sjow has to kind of split off his army, or will he send his entire army here? Yes, DeMuslim's going to do that. A tank's out of position yet again. Unsieged, not able to really do any damage whatsoever. And Sjow's also got less medevacs, and that +3 isn't even finished, but DeMusliM doesn't need it because Sjow is losing a lot.
And that looks like it's it. The upgrade advantage is so severe. There it is, +2 finishes finally for Sjow. He's able to clear out some of these Marines, but the Marines in the back are doing so much damage. +3 just about to kick in for DeMusliM, and once that kicks off, that'll be the nail in the coffin.
DeMusliM just wrecked a huge amount of SCVs as well in the main. 42 murders are killed. And I mean, Sjow's going to lose his natural orbital. He's going to also lose a lot of just important time of mining, because at this point, DeMusliM is just at the point where Sjow can't even really produce out of a lot of stuff because he's constantly being pressured. I mean, look at it. His third has factories, but he can't really utilize them whatsoever because DeMusliM is just controlling the entire map.
Yeah, such a shame for Sjow. If he just kept everything together, he was trying to get back into the game because he knew he was behind, utilize that drop, and maybe, you know, catch a couple of DeMuslim's units out of position. But no, DeMusliM was able to catch him out of position, and we have him taking a gigantic advantage. See, he's just move commanding. He don't care about it. GG comes out, and Sjow will fall for game number 1.
That was a fantastic job there from DeMusliM. And we were talking about how he really likes that early +1. And that's just his tendency, and just able to get that upgraded advantage going to the mid-game, riding it all the way to have +2 and even +3, a full cycle ahead of his opponent.
We do want to thank GameMinder, the sponsor that makes this possible. A big shout out to them. Go check them out. A very easy way to check them out is go over to NASL.tv. We have everything on there. Also, I do want to mention that these games are being casted from replay. Again, we're trying to be as flexible as possible with the players. We want them to be playing at their best possible time. Of course, DeMusliM being the European player, it's kind of tough to do it live, but hopefully we'll get him in the studio once live.
Wait, I mean, is DeMusliM still at the EG house? I thought he was still at the EG house.
He's
okay, he went back to
Europa.
Oh, he went. Okay,
I think.
I wasn't sure because I saw him cast the Masters Cup the other day.
It might be pre-record. I'm not sure.
I don't want to. I mean, depends.
I don't want to say.
He's a mysterious man. In fact, I'm pretty sure DeMusliM is also. But a secret agent.
The games were played today.
They were played
24 hours.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you so much to everyone watching. This is NASL Season 3, Week 1, Division number 2. And game number 2 will be coming back between Sjow and DeMusliM in just a minute.